Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fortnite Save the World video. In this video, we will continue the beginner's guide we started in the last video. If you didn't watch it yet, check it here. Plus I will finish Stonewood Storm Shield defense too. I combine these guides with the Storm Shield defenses, since as a new player, you will learn almost everything about the game from these defenses. Like survivors squads, command center, hero loadouts, and etc. So, it will be very easier to understand when you watch both together. So, what we will learn in this video? Well, till now, we finished the first defense. Then you will finish fight the storm mission and ride the lighting mission. And now you can finish your second storm shield defense, which will unlock more features in your account. But before starting it, you need to do a bit of farming, just to make it easier. You can finish the second defense easily without farming, building or crafting anything. You can finish it only with your level 1 AR. But this game is all about these three things I just mentioned. Plus even if you don't need all of these things I will mention right now, you will need them for the next defenses and mission anyway. So, I will give you a quick simple guide for each. Like the main steps. Like I mentioned before, I don't want to jam your mind with a lot of things you don't even know what it means yet. I will explain everything, so, enough talking and let's start. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content, helps me a lot. Plus you can join the channel and become a member too. And without further ado, let's get started. So, when it comes to farming and save the world, there are a lot of ways to do that, depending on what you need. Let's simplify it to three main categories. I like to call them crafting materials, building materials, and upgrading materials. Building materials are what you need to build, just like Battle Royale. Wood, brick, and metal. Crafting materials are what you need to craft weapons and traps, like rough ore, batteries, planks, and etc. Upgrading materials are what you need to upgrade your heroes, survivors, and schematics level. Don't worry, all you need right now is just wood or brick, and some crafting materials if you want to craft some traps. But if you just will rely on your weapon, you don't need all of that, only ammo. Well, maybe a lot of it. So, I will show you how to get enough of both in less than 5 to 10 minutes. Plus a bonus tip for how to get some good weapons at early game. So, you already played 2 missions right now, fight the storm and ride the lighting. Note that this farming guide is not just for the next defense, it will help you a lot to farm for all the defenses in the game, all 40 of them. From Stonewood till Twine Peaks. So, I will explain everything possible without complicating things. You could farm some during these 2 missions. But if you didn't, I will tell you how to farm more, even without finishing the mission. But first, let's know how farming works in this game. Basically, you get crafting and building materials from destroying things, like trees, cars, rocks, and etc. And you get the upgrading materials from the mission rewards itself. Like you need to finish and win the mission to get these rewards. Like here for example, you need to win this mission to get these rewards. But for now, we don't need any. Which means, you can go to the mission, farm as much you like and leave without finish the mission, and still get the loot you farmed. For example, join this mission, go and destroy trees, rocks, anything for as much as you like, then leave without finishing the mission. And you will have all the loot you farmed in your inventory. Because I'm sure a lot of you think that you need to finish the mission. But in Save the World, you need to be smart, and know what you are doing. I don't know if they will change that in the future or not, but if they did, I will update you in the description. But, don't do that in public lobbies, because this will ruin other players' game, and we don't want to do that. Because in public lobbies, people actually need to finish the mission and win, but we only need to farm. So, make sure to make it solo/private lobby when you do that. And after you finish farming, wait few minutes, before you leave. Like 2 or 3 minutes. Just to make sure that everything is fully saved. Now what to farm? Like first time I started the game, I kept farming for hours, then I found that all these materials I farmed are low-level ones, and I don't need all of that. I won't mention every single one in this video because it will take a lot of time, plus you don't need all of that yet anyway. So, follow these steps and you will get what you need in no time. First, let's start with who only need ammo. Well, at first, you will go here to craft ammo. But of course, you won't have enough materials to craft all the ammo you need yet. Because you will be spamming a lot. So, you will just go and farm the required materials, right? Well, this is right and wrong at the same time. Like it's right, because actually, this is how we all craft all the ammo we need. But in early game, you will need these crafting materials for traps, more than for ammo. And note that is only for just the first few missions in the game. After progressing in the game for a bit, you will have enough materials for everything. I know I talked a lot about a simple thing, but I want to explain everything I know in detail, so you can enjoy the game, benefit from everything possible, and save as much time as you can. Without rushing into the game, of course. Plus, one thing about this ammo thing. When you use your material to craft ammo, once you finish your defense, all the materials you used are gone. But when you craft some traps, it will still be there for the rest of the defenses. And you may think that it's not that much important, since you can craft only 2 traps right now anyway. But believe me, in early game, materials like nuts and batteries are a bit hard to farm. So, for ammo, here's how to get more than enough, without using any of your upgrading materials. When you join the mission to farm, like I mentioned before, look for 2 things. All these planets have a high chance to give you ammo. Not that much, I know, but enough for now. Plus these ammo boxes too. Like that, you will get all kinds of ammo, which will help a lot. But, what about the other materials I mentioned? We will need them too anyway. Well, for now, all we need is some wood or brick for our builds. And some upgrading materials for wall darts, since it's the only main trap we can craft right now. You can get a lot of planks and stringy from destroying trees and small planets. And the mechanical parts from any mechanical things, like cars, trucks, machines, and etc. But it might be a bit hard, since there's not much of mechanical things in the first few missions. But you don't need much, all we need a few traps and that's it. But you'll be able to farm more easily for the next defenses, when you unlock more missions on the map. Note that all of what I talked about will take you only 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just explaining everything you need to know. So that's it? Nope, not yet. There are more 3 things you can do, which will give you a lot of materials easily, even without farming. 1. Look for these glowing wild animals. They will always give you free loot. For example, a legendary animal can give you a legendary traps or weapon, which is very helpful. We didn't have this feature when we started the game years ago, they just added it few months ago. And to be honest, this is one of the best features they ever added. Even in end game. Yes, the loot is not that much at end game, but still, it's a free loot. Who doesn't love free loot? 2. Survivors. You can find a lot of them around the map. Basically, you defend a survivor who is running from the husk for a few minutes. But the thing is, in early game, a lot of them will give you the gift right away without defending them, as you see in these clips. Which means, you just need to interact with them when you see them around the map. Which means, more free loot. And if any husk spawned, you could leave the survivor and go away. 3. Search any bags, boxes, or anything that can contain loot around the map. Which gives you more upgrading materials. So, take all these tips I mentioned and do them in a mission for around 10 minutes, and you will get good amount of loot. And this works for farming at any time. Early game, mid game, and end game. Now you know how to farm easily. Plus everything you need to know for now. So, let's start the next defense, but first let's take a look at what we will get. You will unlock the leader slot, and 1 more survivor slot in your first survivor's squad. And we'll get a lead survivor for it too. Plus a 100 ticket which you can use to buy llamas from here. But for now, don't buy llamas randomly. I will make another video about llamas in the shop, but for now, here are quick tips. First, if you found any llamas here for free, always buy them. But only the free ones, with 0 tickets cost. These 2 llamas are normal. You can get a silver llama, epic llama, or legendary llama. We always aim for legendary llamas, because they have the best loot. But, not every legendary llama worth buying. We buy them only when we need the rewards they have. Like a hero we need, a survivor, a weapon, and etc. Plus there are other llamas come here, like the event llamas. And the normal llamas can have good rewards. A lot to say here, so for now, save all the tickets you get and buy only when you know what you are doing. Because at some point, you may find an item you need, but you won't have enough tickets for it. Also, one more thing. The armory tab. Here you can see most of the crafting materials, upgrading materials, schematics, and all the resources you have. Here, you can see all the schematics. Ranged weapons, like pistols and assault rifles. Melee, like swords. And traps. We have 3 main kinds of traps. Roof traps, floor traps, and wall traps. Every schematic in the game, like weapon or trap, has its own perks. Like damage, critical damage, crit rating, and etc. But we don't need to go in depth on this topic right now. So, let's start with the defense. Ray will give you some information about the next defense. After that, we can build or start the next defense. Also, as I mentioned before, you can finish this defense only with your weapons. Plus, we already got enough weapons and ammo while farming. I already built these structures before recording, so I will destroy them and start from scratch. You need to wait for Ray to finish talking, then we can build or start the defense.
Truth be told, it's basically a bomb. We don't know why it produces a shield instead of a small crater. It's just cool like that. So, this upgrade might kill us all, but hear me out, it might not. So let's get started. We don't have any intel this time. The attack could come from any direction. You might want to prepare for an attack from the east and the west.
Now we can build. As Ray said, the husk may attack from the east and the west, but they can come from any direction. Let's start with the east direction, for example. They have two ways to reach the home base. Here and here. We can defend both, but to make it easier, I will close one and keep the other one opened. I will use what we call block-offs. Basically, to force the husk to follow a specific path, you need to close any other path they can follow with these block-offs. And they are simple, like you see right now. I'm just closing this way with walls, stairs, and edited cones. Even you can use edited floors too. But how much we need? Well, it will be a bit confusing for you right now. Let's just say, if the other way you want them to follow is near, few layers like this are enough. If the way is far, you need to add more. And don't worry, during storm shield defenses, you can skip all of that. I'm just teaching you about the game. These steps work for any mission in the game, not just this one. This should be more than enough. But I will add more, just in case. And we will destroy all of that later anyway. But don't worry, you won't lose your mats, everything will go back to your inventory again. Now they have to come from here, they don't have any other way. We can build all the area here, but we don't need to spend all of that. We don't need to spend much materials and traps, so I will block this ramp. And like that, I can build only half of the area here, instead all of it. But hey, you must leave something open for them to reach the object you are defending. Because if you closed every possible way, they will start destroying everything to reach it. You should start to understand how block-offs work right now. This should be enough. Now let's build here. Basically, we need some walls, floors, and roofs to place traps on them. Right now, I will craft only wall darts traps. 3 to 4 here should be enough. I didn't farm that much anyway, only around 15 minutes. But the weapons I got from the wild animals will help. Also, I got some other traps from chests while I was farming, so I will use some here too. Nothing fancy, just use what you have right now. After few missions you will have a lot of better traps and you will be able to build better tunnels and block-offs. Again, most of these steps can be skipped right now, the few first defenses are very easy. These are just few tips about how to build. Because I know that someone will come in the comments and say, I managed to finish all my defenses without all of that. These steps work for any kind of mission in the game, not just this one. You can add more here, but no need. You can destroy the south direction, but keep it. Because they may come from it. Always build any open direction. I will explain this topic later when we start placing amplifiers. Now for the west direction. Nothing fancy, just few traps. There's other path here, but they won't follow it. Since there's a shorter path to reach the home base. Note that you need to build some of the green signs marked here, to be able to start the defense. If you don't have any traps to place, it's okay, as you will see next, this mission is very easy anyway. Wall darts trap can shoot up to 3 tiles, which is very good to cover more area.
When you're ready to start the fight, select Expand Shields from the Storm Shield console.
Now let's start.
Here we go! Shield power increasing. Prepare for an attack from the south.
The south. That's why I said, they can come from any direction. In the future we will place some objects called amplifiers. These amplifiers help to expand your shield. So, for example, if you place this amplifier right here, it will block this direction completely. They will attack the home base only from the east and the west. But you need to defend the amplifier you placed and so on. And don't worry, you don't need to place any amplifier right now. We will do that in the next defense. After the defense, I will explain what features we unlocked after this defense.
Another wave coming soon. Prepare for an attack from the west.
Here are the rewards I got, 2 llamas and some XP. Plus another 100 tickets. And the lead survivor I mentioned before. Now you unlocked your first slot in the support team.
Spread the word.
And you can use your first leader.
Survivors in danger.
That was some fast word spreading. All right, caller, what can we do for you?
I was escorting a group of survivors. We were completely surrounded.
Survivor squads are very important to increase your power level.
Now, these are
You
good
won't
people.
unlock your third survivor slot yet in this team like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I missed it. By progressing in the game, you will increase your level.
What I'm hearing is maybe.
Each level gives you rewards, like this trap schematic for example. Other rewards like upgrading points too, but we haven't unlocked this feature yet. For now, you need to rescue 3 survivors, and finish a mission in 3+ zone. Simply check the missions on the map and to check the power, this one in recommended 3. Even if your power level is lower, doesn't matter. You still can play it. Then retrieve the data mission. And after that, you can start your third defense, which gives a lot of helpful new features. I will explain all of them in the next video. So, make sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, helps a lot. And that's it. Don't forget to use code Larsis in the item shop if you want to support me. Hope you enjoyed the content, and as always, see you in the next one.